Welcome back. I'm Pratap here. Today is the 5th November 2024. In this video, I'm going to generate different supply demand zone reports useful to the premium subscribers. And in the first report, let us find the stocks near demand and supply zones. During this process, we will also identify daily and 75 minutes high liquidity zones. And also we will identify monthly, weekly and daily prices closed inside the zones in those time frames, along with EMA Confluence reports. Okay, first let me start with the half-yearly time frame. Let's find the stocks near half-yearly demand zone. One stock is filtered. I'm giving you only few seconds time to watch the report. I request you pause the video, study the report, and then you can proceed further. In case if you don't understand how to study this report, I request you complete training lesson 21.1. In that video, I have explained each and every column, their values, abbreviations in detail. I also explained how to draw zone in TradingView by taking this leg in and leg out timestamps and also base candle count. Okay, let's proceed with the next report. For half-yearly time frame, let's find the stocks near half-yearly supply zone. One stock is filtered. Next time frame is quarterly. Let's find the stocks near quarterly demand zone. 4 stocks are filtered. Next, for quarterly time frame, let's find the stocks near quarterly supply zone. 3 stocks are filtered. Okay, next time frame is monthly. Let's find the stocks near monthly demand zone. 4 stocks are filtered. Next, for monthly time frame, let's find the stocks near monthly supply zone. 6 stocks are filtered. Next, for weekly time frame, but here one more point we should do, monthly time frame, we should also identify stocks closed inside the monthly demand zone. So 20 stocks are filtered where price closed inside the monthly demand zone. And pierced monthly demand zones if we ignored, so in the pierced count, at monthly time frame, I have to set minimum value 0, maximum value 0. That means pierced count should be 0. Pierced count 0 means zone is not pierced. And it should be applied to the demand zones. Time frame monthly, monthly demand zones, the filter is applied. Now we got 18 stocks. These 18 monthly demand zones are not pierced. In these 18 monthly zones, how many are having, currently price closed in these monthly zones? In these 18, how many are having monthly EMA Confluence? So monthly demand zone, the monthly time frame, monthly demand zone having monthly EMA Confluence. In those 18, 13 stocks are having monthly EMA Confluence. In those 18, a few stocks might be having sideways trend. One stock is here. You can ignore them. Some stocks are downtrend. Monthly in the demand zone downtrend, they will be useful for counter trend trade setup related trade plans. Okay, next monthly time frame. Let's find the stocks where price closed inside monthly supply zone. 5 stocks are filtered. So I have to add the pierced count. Monthly time frame, minimum value 0, maximum value 0, and that should be applied to supply zones, monthly supply zones. We are focusing on price closed inside monthly supply zones. Only 2 stocks are filtered. These are not pierced zones. Do they have EMA Confluence? Let's verify. In the EMA Confluence, monthly time frame, Monthly supply zone having monthly EMA Confluence. None of those stocks are having EMA Confluence. Okay, next time frame is weekly. And let us find the stocks near weekly demand zone. 7 stocks are filtered. Next weekly time frame, let's find the stocks near weekly supply zone. 10 stocks are filtered. Next weekly time frame, let us find the stocks where price closed inside the weekly demand zone. So entry zone should be demand zone. It should not be pierced. Weekly demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at weekly time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. So we got good number of stocks. Let me scroll the list down. So 27 stocks are. These 27 stocks are. Currently prices are closed inside this weekly demand zone. If they are having weekly EMA Confluence, there could be much high probability setup zones. So I am going back in the EMA Confluence, weekly time frame, weekly demand zones are having a weekly EMA Confluence. I set the filter. Now we got 18 stocks. From these 18 stocks, sideways setup stocks you can ignore. Uptrend stocks you can plan bullish trade setups. Downtrend stocks you can plan counter trend trade setups. So this is the way we can plan the trades. Okay, next for the weekly time frame, let us find the stocks where price closed inside weekly supply zone. So entry zone should be supply zone. For that weekly supply zone, zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at a weekly time frame, this is the weekly time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. That means zone is not pierced. So let me filter. We got 13 stocks. So currently in these 13 stocks, prices are closed. Weekly prices are closed. Currently zone is closed inside these weekly supply zones. And if these weekly supply zones are having EMA Confluence, there could be even more high probability. So let's verify. So in the EMA Confluence weekly time frame, weekly supply zone with weekly EMA Confluence. Let's filter. 9 stocks are filtered. In these 9 weekly supply zones, they have weekly EMA Confluence. Any sideways setups are there, you can ignore those stocks, sideways. Uptrend, counter trend trade setup you can plan. Downtrend, you can plan for bearish trade setup. That way you can plan your trade setups. Okay, next one is about daily time frame. So entry time frame daily, let us find the stocks where price closed near to the daily demand zone. No stocks are filtered near the daily demand zone. Let me check again. Entry time frame is daily and signal type is near any demand zone. That means near any daily demand zone. Any means any kind of demand zone, high liquidity, pierced zone, anything. So we don't have any stocks near daily demand zone. Okay, for daily time frame, let us find the stocks where price closed near daily supply zone. 10 stocks are filtered. Let's identify any high liquidity daily supply zones from this list. This is a TCO. Now we don't have any valid high liquidity daily supply zones from this list. Okay, fine. Next, for daily time frame, let us find the stocks where price closed inside the daily demand zone. But these daily demand zones should not be pierced. So entry zone is a DZ, daily zone. So daily demand zones, we need to set the filter. Pierced count should not be, this is the pierced count filter. It should not be pierced on daily time frame. So I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. That means zone is not pierced. Let's find how many stocks we get. We got 12 stocks. Price closed inside daily demand zone and they are not pierced. In this 12, if any of the stocks are having daily EMA confluence, there could be high probability trade setup related zones. So let's verify in the EMA confluence at daily time frame. We are looking for daily demand zone with the daily EMA confluence. We got only one stock and this is sideways, so you can't use for bullish trade setup or counter trend trade setups. Okay, next for a daily time frame, supply zones. Let us find the stocks where price closed inside daily supply zone, and this daily supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at a daily time frame, I am setting minimum value 0 and maximum value 0. Now let's verify. We got a very big list. Now currently prices are inside daily supply zones. I am scrolling the list down for your reference. So total 22 stocks are filtered. Currently price closed inside daily supply zones. But in these 22 daily, there could be high probability setup stocks based on the daily EMA confluence. How many of these daily zones are having EMA confluence? So in the EMA confluence at a daily time frame, I am looking for a daily supply zone having daily EMA confluence. With this filter, we got 11 stocks. In these 11, some of these daily zones might be having sideways trend. So ignore those sideways trend related stocks. Look for downtrend related stocks to plan your bearish trade setup stocks, or look for uptrend related stocks to plan your counter trend trade setup related trade plans. Okay, this is about the daily time frame. Next time frame is 125 minutes. Let us find the stocks near 125 minutes demand zone. 9 stocks are filtered. Next, for 125 minutes time frame, let's find the stocks near 125 minutes supply zone. These are the first 15 stocks. I am scrolling the list down. So total 19 stocks are there near 125 minutes supply zone. Okay, next time frame is 75 minutes. So entry time frame 75 minutes. Let us find the stocks near 75 minutes demand zone. Only one stock is filtered and it is a pierced zone. So we don't have any high liquidity 75 minutes demand zones from this list. So far we didn't find any high liquidity zones. Daily we don't have 75 minutes demand zones also we don't have. Now the only last option is 75 minutes supply zones. Let's verify. In 75 minutes time frame, let us find the stocks near 75 minutes supply zone. So 12 stocks are filtered. Let us identify any high liquidity supply zones from this list. But this is a pierced zone, and moreover it is an indices, you can ignore it. This is a TCO. So Bajaj Finserv already tested 3 times, 6 rejections. If you can find any fresh fine-tuned 5-minute zone, you can plan a trade, or any 5 minutes horizon as a, that way also you can plan your trade. Any high liquidity zones you can plan aggressive trade setups. So this is the first one. Next one is TCO. This is a pierced one, TCO. Supply zone, TCO. This is a TCZ zone. That means we have only one stock. Let me check again. Supply zone. This is a pierced zone. This is a TCO zone. This is the only one valid zone. TCO zone, TCO, pierced zone, supply zone. This is a TCZ zone, pierced supply. We have only one high liquidity supply zone identified in our entire daily and 75 minutes high liquidity zones. This is the only one stock we have. If anybody wants to take chances, some extra chances, you can look for TCO or TCZ zones. But please remember, we are not claiming 80% success rate for those zones. We are claiming 80% success rate only for high priority, high liquidity zones. Maybe sometimes you may get 60% success rate for TCO or TCZ zones. When you don't have options, you can rely on those stocks. You can take some chances to plan your trades. If the risk is minimum in your trade plan, you can plan your TCO or TCZ, nothing wrong in trying. Okay, this is about 75 minutes time frame. Next time frame is 25 minutes. Let us find the stocks near 25 minutes demand zone. 4 stocks are filtered. Next, for 25 minutes time frame, let us find the stocks near 25 minutes supply zone. Next time frame is 15 minutes. Let us find the stocks near 15 minutes demand zone. 2 stocks only filtered. Let's verify any of these two stocks are having ITF demand zone confluence. That is a 15 minutes demand zone with 75 minutes demand zone confluence. So I'm enabling the filter. So with this filter, we got only one stock having a ITF confluence. Okay, next one for 15 minutes time frame. Let us find the stocks near 15 minutes supply zone. 3 stocks are filtered. Let's verify any of these 3 stocks are having ITF supply zone confluence. That is 15 minute supply zone with 75 minute supply zone confluence. So I enable the filter. So with this filter, we got all the 3 stocks. That means in all the 3 stocks, 15 minute supply zones are part of the 75 minute supply zone. That is what zone confluence. Okay, next time frame is 5 minutes. Let us find the stocks near 5 minutes demand zone. 7 stocks are filtered. Let's verify out of these 7 how many demand zones are having ITF confluence. That is 5 minutes demand zone with 15 minutes demand zone confluence. I'm enabling the filter. So, sorry, wrongly selected. Yeah, 5 minutes demand zone with 15 minutes demand zone confluence. We got only one stock. So in this stock, 5 minutes demand zone is part of the 15 minutes demand zone. Okay, next for 5 minutes time frame, let's find the stocks near 5 minutes supply zone. We got 3 stocks. In these 3, first one is already pierced. Remaining 2, if any ITF confluence is there, let's verify 5 minutes supply zone with 15 minutes supply zone confluence. Enable the filter. We got both these stocks, but in that first one is already pierced, you can ignore. The second one is having confluence. So this is the stocks near demand and supply zones. Next, let us look for NIFTY, BANKNIFTY supply demand zone chain. Let's start with NIFTY, starting from monthly time frame, generating monthly supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. So in this monthly supply demand zone chain, always look into the zone column to find the high liquidity zones. Always look into the pierced column to check any of these zones are pierced. And always look into the LTF trend to find the trend of the time frame you have selected. This is the way you can apply these rules for the remaining time frames. And also don't forget to pause the video when you are moving from one time frame to another time frame, because I am giving you only few seconds time. Okay, next time frame is a weekly, generating weekly supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next time frame is a daily, generating daily supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next time frame is 125 minutes, generating 125 minute supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next time frame is 75 minutes, generating 75 minute supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next time frame is 25 minutes, generating 25 minute supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next time frame is 15 minutes, generating 15 minute supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next time frame is 5 minutes, generating 5 minute supply demand zone chain for Nifty. You have supply zones until 26th. Demand zones are started. I am scrolling the list down so that some more 5 minutes demand zones you can observe. So this is about a Nifty supply demand zone chain. Next, let me start with Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain. That is nothing but Nifty Bank. Let's start with monthly time frame, generating monthly supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next time frame is weekly, generating weekly supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next time frame is daily, generating daily supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next time frame is 125 minutes, generating 125 minute supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next time frame is 75 minutes, generating 75 minute supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next time frame is 25 minutes, generating 25 minute supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next time frame is 15 minutes, generating 15 minute supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next time frame is the last time frame is 5 minutes, generating 5 minute supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. So this is about Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain. So the next set of reports are bullish and bearish trade setups for monthly, weekly, daily and hourly income trades. Let's start with monthly income trade bullish trade setup, entry time frame daily, entry zone demand zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup on daily, I am selecting bullish, and this daily demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count on daily time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0 means zone is not pierced. Zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhanced score should be 12. All the 3 filters are applied to daily demand zone, and we got 10 stocks. These 10 stocks are supporting bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. That is entry time frame and entry zone are daily demand zones. In these 10 stocks, there could be high probability setup supported stocks. So first let us identify based on ITF confluence, LTF, ITF demand zone confluence. That is a daily demand zone with weekly demand zone confluence. I am enabling the filter. Now let's verify. Out of the 10, we got 6 stocks. In all these 6 stocks, daily demand zones are part of the weekly demand zones. And weekly trend is uptrend because ITF trend. And in these stocks, if any weekly EMA confluence is there, they are even more high probability setup supported stocks. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence, weekly time frame, weekly demand zone with weekly EMA confluence. Because the daily demand zone is part of the weekly demand zone. 5 stocks. In all these 5 stocks, daily demand zone is part of the weekly demand zone, and the weekly demand zone is having weekly EMA confluence, and also weekly trend is uptrend. These are the high probability setup supported stocks. That's why some of these stocks are supported multiple times tested. Okay, next let us look for LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence. First I have to remove this EMA filter. So 3 filters we need to set in the demand zone confluence. Already 1 filter is enabled. That is the daily with weekly demand zone confluence. Next, daily demand zone with monthly demand zone confluence. That is HTF. Next, weekly demand zone with monthly demand zone. That is ITF and HTF. So with all the 3 filters, LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence, we got 2 stocks. In these 2 stocks, daily demand zone is part of the weekly demand zone. Both together again part of the monthly demand zone. And the monthly trend is up in both these stocks. If any of these stocks are having monthly EMA confluence, that is even more high probability setup supported stock. Let's verify. In the EMA Confluence at monthly time frame, monthly demand zone with monthly EMA Confluence, we got both the stocks. Both these stocks are high probability setup supported stocks. So these are the daily demand zones, but they are part of the monthly zone because they have monthly EMA Confluence and monthly Zone Confluence, LTF, ITF, HTF. So this is about bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. Entry time frame is a daily, entry zone is supply zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at daily time frame, I am selecting bearish. The 5-minute supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count daily time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. That means zone is not pierced. Zone achievement VOZ. And minimum odd enhanced score 12. All the 3 filters are applied to daily supply zone. We got 3 stocks currently supporting bearish trade setup for a monthly income trade. Entry time frame and zone are daily supply zones. In these 3 daily supply zones, there could be high probability supported stocks might be available. Let's verify based on LTF and ITF supply zone confluence, that is daily and weekly supply zone confluence. I am enabling the filter. With this filter, out of the 3 stocks, we got 2 stocks. In both these stocks, daily demand zone is part of the weekly demand zone. And the weekly trend is a downtrend. If any of these weekly zones are having weekly EMA confluence, there could be even more high probability setup supported stock. Let's verify in the EMA confluence at weekly. Because why weekly? Because the daily zone is part of the weekly zone. That's why weekly supply zone is having weekly EMA confluence, because this is bearish trade setup weekly supply zones. We got 1 stock. So this is a high probability, even more high probability setup. Bearish trade setup, daily supply zone, and also this daily supply zone is also high liquidity zone. Okay, next let us look for LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone confluence. Next high probability setup. Let's verify. I removed EMA filter. In the supply zone confluence, 3 filters we should set. Already 1 filter is enabled, that is a daily with weekly. Next, daily supply zone with monthly supply zone confluence, and weekly supply zone with monthly supply zone confluence filters are enabled. With all the 3 filters, we did not get any stocks. We don't have LTF, ITF, HTF supported based zones. Okay, next let us look for bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. In weekly income trade, entry time frame 75 minutes, entry zone, demand zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at 75 minutes, I am selecting bullish. The 75 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 75 minutes time frame, minimum value I am setting 0, maximum value I am setting 0. Zone achievement is violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhanced score is 12. All the 3 filters are applied to 75 minutes demand zone. We got 5 stocks. So in these 5 stocks, they are supporting bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. Entry time frame and zone are 75 minutes demand zones. In these 75 minutes demand zones, there could be high probability supported stocks might be available. Let's verify. First filter is based on LTF and ITF demand zone confluence. That is 75 minutes demand zone with daily demand zone confluence. I am enabling the filter. With this filter, we got 3 stocks. In these 3 stocks, 75 minutes entry demand zones are entry demand zones are part of the daily demand zones, and daily trend is up. If any of these zones are having daily EMA confluence, they are even more high probability setup. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence at a daily time frame, daily demand zone with daily EMA confluence, because 75 minute zone is part of the daily zone. We got 1 stock. So we process this 75 minutes demand zone is a high probability, even more high probability setup stock. That's why it is already tested 2 times and 5 rejections from this zone. Okay, next let us look for LTF, ITF and HTF zone confluence. I am removing EMA filter. We need to set 3 filters, LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence. Already 1 filter is enabled, daily with weekly. Next, daily demand zone with monthly demand zone confluence. And also weekly demand zone, sorry, something is missing here. Sorry for my mistake. This is 75 with daily is enabled. Next, daily with next 75 with weekly, because it is WIT trades. And next, daily with weekly demand zone. These three filters are enabled. Remaining are disabled. Okay. So that means 75 minutes daily and weekly, these three. Demand zone confluence. We got two stocks. If you have any confusion, look into the search criteria, you will get. See, we selected weekly and daily, weekly and 75 minutes, and daily and 75 minutes. So we have 75 minutes daily, weekly confluence. So these two stocks are having a LTF, ITF, HTF confluence. That means the 75 minutes demand zone is part of the daily demand zone. Both together again part of the weekly demand zone. And weekly trend is up for both these stocks. If any of these stocks are having weekly EMA confluence, that is even more high probability setup. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence, weekly time frame, weekly demand zone with weekly EMA confluence. Both the stocks are filtered. Already Wipro is having daily EMA confluence. This is also having weekly EMA confluence also. So both these stocks are high probability setup supported stocks. So this is about bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. Entry time frame daily, entry zone, supply zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at 75 minutes, I am selecting bearish. 75 minutes supply zone should not be pierced. So in pierced count at 75 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. Zone achievement violated, opposing zone, minimum order enhancer score is 12. All three filters are applied to daily supply zone. Something wrong. Entry zone should be 75 minutes, because in bearish trade setup for weekly income trade, 75 minutes is the entry zone and bearish trade setup supply zone. Pierced count we selected on 75 minutes time frame, right? Sorry, this is price motion. In pierced count 75 minutes only we set. Okay. Anyway, issues we can identify in search criteria. 10 stocks are filtered. See, always look into the search criteria to check if we make any mistakes. So this is a perfect 75 minutes bearish trade setup. So these 10 stocks are supporting bearish trade setup for weekly income trade, that is entry time frame and entry zone, 75 minute supply zones. In these 10 75 minute supply zones, there could be high probability setup supported stocks might be available. Based on the ITF confluence, let's verify. LTF and ITF supply zone confluence. That is 75 minutes and daily supply zone confluence. I am enabling the filter. So with this filter, we got 8 stocks out of 10, 8. So in all these 8 stocks, 75 minute supply zones are part of the daily supply zones. They are part of daily, and daily trend is down, that is ITF trend. If any of these 8 stocks, if the daily supply zones are having daily EMA confluence. Why daily supply zones? Because 75 minute supply zone is part of the daily supply zone. That's why we are looking for a daily supply zone with daily EMA confluence. And daily time frame, daily supply zone with daily EMA confluence. We got 5 stocks. These 5 stocks are high probability setup supported stocks. All the supply zones. And some of these 75 minute supply zones are also high liquidity supply zones. That is even more powerful. Okay, this is based on LTF and ITF supply zone confluence. Now let us look for next filter, LTF, ITF, HTF confluence. I have to remove EMA filter, removed it. So in supply zone confluence, we need to look for 3 filters, LTF, ITF, HTF. In that, one filter is already enabled, that is 75 with daily supply zone confluence is enabled. Next, 75 minute supply zone with weekly supply zone confluence, daily supply zone with weekly supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone confluence, we got 3 stocks. In all the 3 stocks, the HTF trend is sideways, so no need to look for EMA confluence. Weekly EMA confluence is not applicable because the trend is sideways. Okay, next let us look for bullish trade setup for daily income trade. That is entry time frame 15 minutes. Entry zone is demand zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at 15 minutes, I am selecting bullish. The 15 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 15 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. That means zone is not pierced. Zone achievement VOZ, minimum odd and enhanced score 12. All three filters are applied to 15 minutes demand zone. Now we got 10 stocks. Currently these 10 stocks are supporting bullish trade setup for daily income trade. That is entry time frame, entry zone or 15 minutes demand zones. Among these 10-15 minutes demand zones, there could be some high probability setup supported stocks might be available. Let's find based on ITF confluence, LTF and ITF demand zone confluence. That is the 15 minutes demand zone with 75 minutes demand zone confluence. I enabled the filter. With this filter, out of 10 stocks, we got 9 stocks. In these 9 stocks, the entry time frame 15 minutes demand zones are part of the 75 minutes demand zone. That is ITF demand zone. So ITF trend always uptrend in bullish trade setup. If any of these 75 minutes demand zones are having daily EMA confluence, there could be even more high probability setup supported stocks. Let's verify. So in the EMA confluence at 75 minutes time frame, 75 minutes demand zone with daily EMA confluence filter is enabled. With this filter, we got 2 stocks. So these 2 stocks, demand zones are even more high probability setup supported stocks. And also both these demand zones are TCO demand zones. And these 2 TCO demand zones are created today only. So the trend change happened today. Okay, next let us look for LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence. I am removing EMA filter. With LTF, ITF, HTF, we have to set 3 filters. First filter is already enabled. This is the one, 15 minutes with 75. Next 15 minutes demand zone with daily demand zone confluence. 75 minutes demand zone with daily demand zone confluence filters also enabled. With the 3 filters, LTF, ITF, HTF confluence, we got 5 stocks. In all these 5 stocks, the 15 minutes entry demand zones are part of the 75 minutes demand zone. And both together again part of the daily demand zone. And the daily trend is up in 2 stocks. Daily means HTF. The first one and the fourth one. In first and fourth, if any of them are having EMA confluence, daily EMA confluence, they are even more high probability setup stocks. Let's verify. So in the EMA confluence, daily time frame, daily demand zone with daily EMA confluence filter is enabled. We got 1 stock, but it is a sideways trade setup. Sideways EMA does not give any extra advantage. Okay, this is about bullish trade setup for daily income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for daily income trade. Entry time frame is 15 minutes. Entry zone is supply zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at 15 minutes, I am selecting bearish. The 15 minute supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count, 15 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. Zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd and enhanced score is 12. With this, all 3 filters are applied to 15 minute supply zone. And now we got again 10 stocks. These 10 supply zones are currently supporting bearish trade setup for daily income trade. All these are all 15 minute supply zones. Out of these 10-15 minute supply zones, there could be high probability setup stocks might be available. Let us identify based on the first filter, LTF and ITF confluence. Supply zone confluence. That is 15 minute supply zone with 75 minute supply zone confluence filter is enabled. With this filter, out of the 10 stocks, we got all the 10 stocks. That means in all these 10 stocks, the 15 minutes supply zones are part of the 75 minute supply zone. 75 minutes is ITF. 15 minutes is LTF. That means 15 minute supply zones are part of the 75 minute supply zone. And the 75 minutes trend is down. And if these 75 minute supply zones are having daily EMA confluence, they are even more high probability setup supported stocks. Let's verify. In 75 minutes time frame, 75 minute supply zone with daily EMA confluence filter is enabled. Now we got 2 stocks. And both these supply zones are high probability setup supported stocks. Out of these two, again, the second one, power grid, is having even high liquidity supply zone and already tested once. Okay, next let us look for LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone confluence. I am removing EMA filter. We need to set three filters. LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone confluence. First filter is already enabled. Second filter, 15-minute supply zone with daily supply zone confluence. Next, third filter, 75-minute supply zone with daily supply zone confluence. All the three filters are enabled. With this, we got 6 stocks. In all these 6 stocks, 15-minute supply zone is part of the 75-minute supply zone. Both together again part of the daily supply zone. And the daily trend is down in some of these stocks. 1, 2, 3. And these 3 stocks, if any, daily EMA confluence, they are even more high probability setup. Let's verify. Already it is high probability. If EMA confluence, it is even more high probability. So in the EMA confluence, at a daily time frame. Why daily? Because 15 and 75 minute zones are part of the daily, together part of the daily. That's why daily supply zone with daily EMA confluence. We got 2 stocks. Second one is sideways, ignore it. It does not give any extra advantage. Already it is having advantage, LTF, ITF, HTF confluence. And the NIFTY 50 is having more advantage because it is also, the trend is also downtrend. And moreover, it is also a high liquidity zone. Excuse me. This 15-minute supply zone. Okay, next let us look for a bullish trade setup for hourly income trade. Entry time frame 5 minutes, entry zone demand zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at 5 minutes, select in bullish. 5 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count, at 5 minutes time frame, minimum value I am setting 0, maximum value 0. Zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhancer score is 12. With all the 3 filters applied to 5 minutes demand zone, we got 7 stocks. These 7 stocks currently supporting bullish trade setup for hourly income trade. Entry time frame, entry zone, 5 minutes demand zones. Among these 7 5 minutes demand zone, there could be some high probability setup stocks might be available. For that, let us look for LTF and ITF demand zone confluence. That is 5 minutes demand zone with 15 minutes demand zone confluence. I am enabling the filter. And with this filter, out of the 7 stocks, we got 6 stocks. In all these 6 stocks, 5 minutes demand zones are part of the 15 minutes demand zone. And the 15 minutes ITF trend is up. If any of these 15 minutes demand zones are having daily EMA confluence, they could be even more high probability setup. So in the EMA confluence, at 15 minutes time frame, 15 minutes demand zone with daily EMA confluence, we did not get any stocks. Okay, fine. I am removing EMA filter. So the next high probability setup, LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence. That is 5 minutes, 15 minutes and 75 minutes demand zone confluence. First filter is already enabled. Second filter, 5 minutes demand zone with 75 minutes demand zone confluence. Third filter, 15 minutes demand zone with 75 minutes demand zone confluence. All 3 filters are enabled. With this, we got 4 stocks. In these 4 stocks, 5 minutes demand zone is part of the 15 minutes demand zone. Both together again part of the 75 minutes demand zone. And 75 minutes demand zone, that is HTF, we have only one stock is having uptrend. If this 75 minutes demand zone is having a daily EMA confluence, it could be even more high probability setup. Remaining does not give any extra advantage because trend is sideways. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence, 75 minutes time frame, 75 minutes demand zone with daily EMA confluence. We did not get the EMA confluence. Okay, next let us look for bearish trade setup for hourly income trade. Entry time frame is 5 minutes, entry zone is supply zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at 5 minutes time frame, I am selecting bearish. The 5 minute supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count, at 5 minutes time frame, minimum value I am setting 0, maximum value 0. Zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhancer score 12. All 3 filters are applied to 5 minute supply zone. And we got 3 stocks. In these three stocks, they are high probability setup supported because 5-minute supply zone is part of the 15-minute supply zone. Sorry. These three are bearish trade setup supported stocks. In these three, there could be high probability setup supported stocks in these three supply zones. So we need to look for LTF and ITF supply zone confluence. So in the supply zone confluence, 5-minute supply zone with 15-minute supply zone confluence, filter is enabled. Two stocks are filtered. That means in these two stocks, these 5-minute supply zones are part of the 15-minute supply zones. And the 15-minute trend is a downtrend. Let's check any of these stocks are having a daily EMA confluence, the 15-minute supply zones. Because 5-minute zone is part of 15-minute zone. And 15-minute supply zone with daily EMA confluence, we did not get any stocks. So I'm removing this filter. And earlier we got two stocks. This is LTF, ITF confluence. Now in these two, any HTF confluence, let's verify. HTF is 75 minutes. In the supply zone confluence, three filters we should set. First filter already enabled, 5 minutes with 15 minutes. Next 5 minutes with 75 minute supply zone confluence. We got, I'm enabling that, and 15-minute supply zone with 75-minute supply zone also enabled with all the three filters, LTF, ITF, HTF confluence. We got both the stocks are filtered. That means in both these stocks, 5-minute zone is part of the 15, both together again part of the 75-minute zone. In the 75 minutes, trend is down, the second stock. If this is having any daily EMA confluence, it is even more high probability setup. Let's verify in the EMA confluence at 75. Why 75 minutes? Because 5 minutes, 15 minutes together part of the 75-minute zone. That's why 75 minutes supply zone with daily EMA confluence I am verifying. No stocks are filtered. Okay, no LTF, HTF, EMA confluence. So in the final report, let's generate stop buffers based on daily ATR. First 17 in this list are indices, the remaining are equity stocks. I am scrolling the list down, whichever the stock you want to refer, there you please pause the video and then you can proceed. I am scrolling the list down. So this is the end of the report. Hope this information will be useful to you for your further study and analysis. Let's all meet again in our next video. Thank you.